This week on Drive, a look inside the McLaren Technology Centre and the McLaren P1 supercar, sideways. That's all coming up right now. It's Drive on NBC Sports.
Few names conjure imagery of cars flailing around racetracks quite like McLaren. It's a company founded for racing, but a Formula One team with 8 championships to its name is just one piece of the McLaren picture, a very important piece. In fact, Formula One racing is the intellectual framework for McLaren Group's other efforts. For example, everything they've learned in F1 goes into its latest road cars, cars like the stunningly quick and very clever 650S. That's the newest version of a mid-engine platform McLaren launched nearly 5 years ago as the turbocharged V8-powered 12C. All of it happens behind the walls of MTC, the McLaren Technology Centre. It's an ultra-modern complex 30 miles southwest of London, designed by top architect Norman Foster. With its production centre added on in 2011, the McLaren HQ looks like something you'd see on a hillside in Silicon Valley or in science fiction, and none of it, from the architecture to the competitive culture that fuels its business, would exist if not for the McLaren Group CEO, Ron Dennis. Of course, the most electrifying example of McLaren's hyper-intelligence is still its stunning new P1 hybrid sports car. You'll see me track test the P1 later in the show, but right now, we sent JF Musial to find out exactly what McLaren does in that very clean factory and how they're using Formula One technology to change the world.
It is one of the most impressive buildings constructed in the past quarter century. It houses an elite team of engineers from various disciplines. Some say its sterile environment is lacking passion, but the McLaren Technology Center is a perfect example where less is more.
It wouldn't surprise you to know when you come to a building like this that everything we do is about attention to detail. But it's not just attention to detail for detail's sake, it's always with an objective in mind, and 9 times out of 10 that objective is winning. We have other businesses where winning isn't necessarily being first across the line, it's about being the best. But at the end of the day, everything we do is about being better than our peers, better than our competitors. I mean, our racing history is phenomenal. We've been on the podium for 50% of every race we've ever competed in. So it's a pedigree and a heritage that we're obviously very proud of. We're not an extrovert business, but we feel very, very proud inwardly of that success. And it's that success that inspires the current generation of people at McLaren to try and take it to another level. How do people feel about all of this heritage? You know, they feel enriched by it. You can't help but feel inspired by it, and it's one of the key reasons that we have it all on display. You know, your reaction when you walked in here is no different than anybody's reaction, which is, wow, there's a Senna car, or there's a Prost car, or whatever it is. Everybody has their particular era that they get excited about. You know, and for me, just as one person, to actually see some of the cars here every day that I've actually stood on the other side of the wire from when I was 12 or 13 years old, I get tingles, I get you know, goosebumps just thinking about it. We've had people break down in tears seeing some of the cars that you've walked past today. This facility really does inspire the people who work here. And I think that Ron really was ahead of his time in creating something that people would just want to be in, want to be part of. To actually come to a place like this is, you know, it's an awe-inspiring environment in which to work. You know, you really feel like you have to up your game when you arrive here every morning.
Coming up next on Drive.
This is geometric and surface validation. We take a lot of surface points, and we take hundreds of geometric points on the vehicle to ensure that we know that the car is in a really good place dimensionally.